Are you behind on the Forrest Fenn box? Because maybe you've been focusing on all the other boxes and there's treasure inside. And now you know a Gold and Greed is coming out this week and the new book for Beyond the Map's Edge. And you're even further behind than that. Well, so are we. I'm Emma.
I'm Jam, and we are Treasure Hunt with Us, and we're only 15 years behind on this box.
Just a decade and a half, just a little bit far out, right?
Yeah, no problem. Hey, let's start with the treasure hunt. There's already has questionable ending from 15 years ago, where a lot of people don't even believe
because
it was
Cynthia
found.
believes it's found, and
I believe
listen.
it's found. I think the reason why they didn't tell the solve, lawyers. Okay,
Yeah, you get lawyers
not
involved, and it
just in
ruins
case
it.
a lawyer is our fan. We like
Except for
lawyers.
you, our fan that's a lawyer. We love you,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
So, the last 10 days, I have been, well, we're going to call it elbow deep instead of the other deeps that we get in Forrest Fenn. All things Forrest Fenn. Because in addition to looking for the first time at this box, because we've been focused on so many other things, we've been really heavy on past and future and Pokemon, because those are places where our solves were kind of more narrowed down. In fact, I'm boots on the ground for past and future this weekend, in the North Carolina, up in the Asheville area. Man, I'm making up names of cities. I'm tired.
You live in that state. You
I
should
know. I'm
know.
tired. I've worked since 4.
Your friends have a company called the Salt-Faced Mule. Go there, order from there. They're
So
great. They're great
delicious
people.
too. The food is so good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. That said, so we have that. I'll be boots on the ground. I'll be eating at the Salt-Faced Mule this weekend. It will be delicious. I'll send pictures
Jealous.
to everybody. I might even do a short. Oh, look what I'm eating and you're not. Maybe have a little flight. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
But, so that's what I'll be doing this weekend. But I'm sure, like the rest of us, with all of this emphasis on the Golden Greed that's coming out on the 27th on Netflix, all of a sudden the focus is kind of shift. And people are like, well, wait a minute. I haven't even really thought about Forrest Fenn. Because for us, that was going to be the last box.
Well, it's also it's in the mountains. You can't find it in the snow. You're not going to find this right now. And so we were like, we're going to put this off. It's going to, that's why we haven't really dived into the app trail, the footpath, footpath, whatever that is. We haven't got into it.
Yeah,
The Appalachian footpath.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll get it out one day. But that's why we haven't done it. It's in the snow. You're not going to be able to find it. Where can we find the one Pokemon? Not in Tahoe either, but I'm still looking because I'm close enough to just go out there whenever I want. But
there's a lot of clues that even just look in California in general. So there's a lot of reasons to look at past and future. Yeah.
That's the main reason we switched and pivoted to the Pokemon box, because there's a good chance at one of the locations there's not going to be snow. That's probably going to be a good chance for the first box to be found because of snow. So
but when they announced this Netflix special and it got really very real, and then they announced this Beyond the Map's Edge, which is another treasure hunt, and listen, we love JCB. JCB is part of our origin story for treasure hunting.
It really is.
But we're asking you to treasure hunt with us, not just there's treasure inside treasure hunt. We want to do all the treasure hunts. And people are like, but it's so far away. It's in these specific areas. And I'm going to tell you, we're going there anyway. So
we're looking anyways. We're just going to look twice.
Anyway. Listen, I think that there's something to be said for the fact that, like I said, this JCB will always be part of our origin story. And Forrest Fenn is really part of JCB's origin story. And so in prepping out for how to analyze this book, I just went back. I bought the book. I bought the Thrill of the Chase, and I've read this book this week. And it's got his poem in there from Forrest Fenn and all that. Because how do I understand the man who was trying to understand the man without understanding the man that was the original man?
You can't understand men anyways. Okay, we're irrational.
When I started this, but now I'm only half screwed.
Yeah, you're partially screwed. It happens. I'll apologize for all men now, is we don't always think clearly.
But this has been really interesting, and I think you agree with me when I say there's some deep stuff. There's something almost romantic about the way Jon's written this book, right?
Love it.
But his romance that he has with the Forrest Fenn box, because it's such a transitional time in his life. He was in music, he left, he goes to Japan, he comes all the way back for his lovely lady, and this is what he decides he's going to do with his time. It's almost romantic the way that he does it. And you can feel the difference in this chapter and the way he uses words.
Unlike how we got into it, there was no romance.
It's
Okay.
opposite. You don't have romance with your brother unless you're in West Virginia, and then we're not judging you.
Now I'm gonna have to cut that out because we can't rip on a whole state. Let's cut that part
Why?
out.
I think that people from West Virginia are used to it. They're like, that's true, that's true.
I always thought that was Alabama, but I can't say that because we might be in Alabama, and I don't want to be like,
that too.
you're in Alabama and you're talking bad about my state. No, we're not.
Sister.
Alabama's
Yeah.
beautiful. We will be there hopefully.
Yeah.
Or
No, I mean, I don't.
Louisiana.
Obviously, I don't truly mean it, so I don't. You don't have to cut anything out. I think it's just a joke, and I think people are okay with it. And if they're not, they don't have to follow us.
If they do, we will apologize now. So
yeah, I apologize that I think you sleep with your sister. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That said,
I don't even know where to go from that. I don't even know. I apologize for this whole show. If you're watching it now and you want to stop, we understand, but you might miss a bunch of nothing because we are starting from scratch. So if you're far in this Forrest Fenn box, you're going to be like, oh, I already know all this, or this, you guys are way off.
No, this video is for the people like us who got your book late. You've never, like, we didn't Forrest Fenn hunt. Yeah. I will tell you though, I've watched basically everything I can get my hands on. Literally obsessed with Cynthia. She is the funniest freaking human. And when you're watching the videos of her hunting, you want to hunt with her. You want to be out there. She's so bold, and it's just like her emotions and the things that she was feeling about what happened is so real and so relevant. And, you know, and she went out after Forrest's treasure was found. She went out with Justin to try to find the location and to try to recreate where they found the location. And at one point they thought they found the spot, which turned out to not be the spot, but they thought that they had found it, even a stick that looked really close to it. And they thought this is it. And then they found out it wasn't. And like, you could just feel the loss all over again for her. And it was just like, there's something so oddly beautiful. And I just keep coming back to the fact that somebody's going to find a box, probably Dr. Krypton. Maybe Froggy.
Future, maybe.
Could be K-Pro. Could be Mike. Calazar. They could find boxes. There's a lot of people it could be. There's a lot of people it could be. But I just keep thinking about like how that had to feel to get that email that was like, oh, by the way, this is over. You've just spent 12, 15, 16 years of your life on this. Done. It's over. And I just think that had to be so knock the air out of you bad.
Luckily, we're in an era of treasure hunting. There's multiple $1 million treasure hunts. We are not wanting. And Froggy, go look him up. SS Quest, he is doing a treasure hunt on April 11th or 12th. Somewhere in April, I already forgot.
I think it's April 10th.
April 10th.
No, you're right. It's 11th. It's 11th.
You know, let's just say the 15th to give us a nice 4-day head start on that one.
Sometime
so we can win.
In April, our good friend Froggy is going to have a hunt. But here's the thing.
You're not going to beat us. Don't even bother trying.
Go watch our other video. The real details are in there, not the late night, haven't really paid attention to like time and space kind of stuff. Go watch, you'll find out the answers. But there's other hunts out there, and that's important. And so you're right. We may very well find this box. We also, may not. But I hope if you do find the box, come talk to us.
Yeah, definitely.
But about this chapter, there's so much in here. And I think what's interesting is when I was reading the book and then when I was reading the chapter, what I found to be kind of the tie-ins is the way Jon romanticized his story, the way Forrest romanticized this memoir, right? Yes. So he tells a little detail about himself, and then he tells a little bit more of a detail about himself, and then he tells a little bit more, and then he's like, okay, let's talk treasures. I do also have a lot of gratitude when I found out that Jon was originally going to be an ocean treasure hunter and then didn't end up being an ocean treasure hunter. So then I'm immediately going, well, wait a minute, what clues are there in that portion of that paragraph? What are we missing? What am I supposed to be looking for in this, right? Because I think that there's something to be said for the fact that the words carry the meat, right? And that there's likely very solid and relative clues to what we're looking at in here, right? And so when he says that, so in a moment of pause, he decided to search for something a little different. And he typed in unfound hidden treasures, United States. And I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting search. Because without that moment, we're all looking in the ocean right now.
Or we're looking for this treasure that's about to start on the 27th Map's Edge or beyond the Map's Edge. Everybody's calling it Map's Edge. That's what I'm going to call it also.
Right. Okay, we can call it whatever you want. It's so funny. I have one of the original books, so I just looked down and I'm like Santa Fe, Arizona, because I've been reading so much
I
recently
know
from
it's
my
New Mexico.
ebooks and from my iPad and from my phone. And I'm like Arizona, so I forgot I have one of the typo books. I'm like, what is that? I forgot about it. But yeah, so there's just
Wait,
so much stuff.
before we get too far on into this and stuff like that, I don't want to forget before, and we will forget, like, comment, subscribe, do all that, but that's not what I was going to say, but I did forget that too. Like, man, I'll even have a banner going across for that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Email at
You should just
comments@treasurehuntwithus.com.
leave that bad boy up the way we go.
Yeah, I know, we always forget, but that's not even what I was going to say. Do not forget to mention
Saturday night, we will be interviewing somebody who participated in Forrest Fenn, who we consider to be an expert treasure hunter, and who
expert
and they've been really essential in helping us kind of get our footing in getting into this treasure hunting world. We'll be interviewing K-Pro
K-Pro from Calazar's number.
and
Thumbs
K-Pro.
up. Yes, K-Pro from
And I don't
Calazar's
know
website.
if Mike will be with her. I do think it's just K-Pro, but if it's both of them, okay, I'm sure they both. I mean, they met there, they fell in love again. Look at the romance of it.
Yeah.
The
Well,
romance.
we're excited to hear about that Forrest Fenn hunt, right? So we're going
Yeah,
to be looking into this Forrest Fenn box. We're going to be talking, looking into the Beyond's Edge. We'll be doing separate videos for that too, Beyond the Map's Edge. And so to do that, we got to get into Forrest Fenn.
got to get into
And
Forrest
if you're
Fenn.
like us, we got Forrest Fenn questions. And who
Tons of
better
them.
to ask than K-Pro, who was a Forrest Fenner? We're super excited to have her. We can
Yeah.
now go back on. I just did not want to forget because
I would
that's what
not
we
have
do.
forgotten. I would not have forgotten, and I
We might have
intend to bring
forgot.
it back up again at the end because
Allegedly.
it's such an important interview for so many reasons. Because I don't think you can really. I think that what's going to stump people on this box based on reading it is that again, there's that romance of the story itself. The people who were not part of the Forrest Fenn will be missing some of what the people who were part of the Forrest Fenn are getting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, this chapter, going through it and reading through it, and you're trying to find stuff and you get excited, like, oh man, the smell of sage. I'm like, sweet, sage, that's easy. All I have to do, which one of these 4 states has sage? Guess what? All of them. Not only do they have sage, they got like a billion different variations, including my favorite, cowboy cologne. So I guess people are just cowboys are out
like
there
I'm
being
gonna
like,
rub
oh,
myself on this
I
turkey
gotta smell
scented.
up good up on here. So yeah, I'm gonna look for
Sage is
these.
a very distinct smell, though.
It
So
is. It really is. So
it does make me
um
think of Thanksgiving, though.
yeah. Yeah, it's just sad that doesn't help bring it down for me. What was the other clue that we were looking at that to try to bring it down, but it seems like it's everywhere also.
Sofalite,
Sofa light. Yeah.
sodalite,
Soda
sodalite,
light, which we got up
sodalite.
right. Soda light. One of the lights. It's just a
Well, but
light,
here's
it's a
the thing,
line,
like,
it's a
so
something.
this is where, like, we talk about Gem and I disagreeing. This is where we disagree. I believe sodalite is found really in 2 places. I think we have Montana and we have Colorado, because I can find specifically 2 locations where sodalite is found here, and really kind of drill down and then start adding more to the pointers towards that clue, because I really love a good confirmation bias.
Yes, but however, let me point out that you can find it in cyanite, which is in Wyoming. And hold on, what's the other one? New Mexico has alkaline, which has
But those aren't
feldspathoid
thinker's
minerals,
stone.
including sodalite. So,
Sodalite itself is a thinker's stone. So just because sodalite is in another stone does not make it the thinker's stone. Maybe it's smarter than the average stone. Maybe it's smarter than a rolling stone, but it's not a thinker's stone.
well, I mean, there's Philosopher's Stone Mountain or something like that in
That's
Colorado.
true.
So, I mean, it could
Well,
be anything. I would not eliminate any of these states. I mean,
I'm
we're
not
not.
eliminating anything either yet. No, not yet. But like
Well,
maybe
I would
later.
say the least likely to me is Montana because this is JCB's hunt, and he's literally saying he hit it where he knows. It's basically where
Right.
he was, and
Well,
he
and
said he
he's
was nowhere near Montana.
yeah,
So
and I think it was in the American Treasure where he says that like he was searching so far away and that it was
right.
nowhere near and like that'll bring me to another point later. I want to talk about the rock that he found that he was sure was emblazoned with a symbol and then it turned out to just be a natural etching. But you know,
Mhm.
those are things that, like, when you're out there, those are things you should be looking for. Like, those are things.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has the Omega look on it because there was so much Omega reference in the Thrill of the Chase,
Yeah.
and I'm just not sure.
Well, I'm super excited too because we're talking about
Yeah.
Soda Light. Did I get it right this time?
Yeah, you
Soda
got it
Light. All
right.
right. Yes. We're looking at Soda Light. We're looking at all the lights, all the mines, all the what's it
Mhm.
called? And this is the one I think there's a reason he references UV light. I think this will be the one you're going to be out there. Your UV light is going to come on. It's going to come in. It's going to be useful on this.
Excuse me.
And you're going to be able to use that UV light. If you're hunting for this box, I would bring a UV light everywhere with me. So
Now,
just
he
like,
says that because when we first got our books, we had to have multiple UV lights because we believed there might be something on the paper
yeah,
because we didn't know that ebooks were coming out in the beginning. So we got, gosh, when we got the first, because our books kind of came staggered, I got two books like within 2 days of each other, and I sent one out immediately to Jam. But I had my book while his was traveling there, and Scott sent it out in the mail, and he didn't follow instructions. So it did not go 3-day priority like it was supposed to. Instead, it went just regular, good old fashioned snail mail. And poor Jam had to wait 7 days.
7 days.
I was sitting in the closet with black light or the UV light, and we're going page by page to see whether or not I can discern anything because we were so excited. But now we know that it's a high likelihood that the reason we needed that UV light is to flash it on to things like soda light to see if it'll like luminesce or whatever the word is.
Yeah, see the Pokemon box, I'm bringing my red light everywhere because he mentions that you can see it through a red lens. I'm bringing that red light everywhere. I still would have went back to that Indian rock house cave, that little thing. I would have red lighted the crap
We
out of that.
may, we may
Yeah.
still go.
And the UV light, I'm bringing on Forrest Fenn. I think those might be helpful. Probably not, but who cares?
I
It
mean,
couldn't
we
hurt to bring a
packed in
little tiny
everything
flashlight
else.
and everything else. Yeah.
We take
Why would you
everything
not bring
else
it?
with us. Why not add one more thing?
Why not?
Yeah, it
Why
was no
not?
big whoop. So let's talk though about the most important indicator of the commonalities between JCB and Forrest Fenn. And I mean, ta-da, it's a poem.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about the poem, because let's be honest, we talk all the time about how I'm not great at poetry, you're not great at poetry
What?
or hiking.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm good at poems, and so are you. That's
You're so
original,
ridiculous.
copyrighted,
You better
trademark that.
copyright that.
Yeah, yeah.
Trademark it.
Don't
But we
steal it.
broke it down and we were kind of looking at it. And, obviously it's the 24 line stanzas with each, or 24 line stanzas.
6
Each
stanzas.
6 stanzas. No, it's called a 24 line stanza. Each
It's a
broken into 6 pieces.
24-line poem with 6 stanzas and 4 lines.
Okay.
So try it again. Hold on, let me go back. Let me get back ready. Go ahead.
So when we were looking for commonalities between JCB's chapter and the Forrest Fenn book, obviously you start with the poem, right? It's got the 24 line poem with 6 stanzas. But then we started to read deeply, very deeply. And
Too
by that I
deeply,
mean
probably.
over and over again.
Too deeply again.
So deeply, we're like, what are we missing? Everything. That's how deep we got. We knew nothing for a while.
We need a poems expert on our team.
I think what we
expert.
should do is get a poetry expert in here.
Yeah.
For the next Forrest Fenn box we do.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We'll have to bring in our expert. We've got an expert for almost everything.
We got an expert.
We've got the same expert for almost everything.
Yes.
But like I thought, probably wouldn't hurt to take a second and kind of break down some of the things. So like we said, it's six stanzas, right? Yeah. And in each stanza is 4 lines. And so you're like, okay, cool, look. But I think what I love about the first paragraph is that John's really almost saying, hey, this is obviously an ode to Forrest because he's the beginning of my origin story. But I need to be a little bit myself because I am Jon Collins-Black, right? Right. And so he didn't want to be too Forresty, so he started with his own story. I cruise along a road I know and parked my car just off the side. I mean, I just feel like when he's going out there and he's got this box and it's a place where he went to look for the treasure, you can almost feel him kind of, going there and like this almost.
He's probably excited. He's like, I got my
right?
solve. It's like when we're out there, we're boots on the ground. We're excited. This is a possibility.
Right.
We can find treasure right here.
Well, he can't find treasure because he's out there hiding it this day, but normally he would have been really excited. But near where I'd searched for heavy loads, well, Forrest search refers to everything in his poem as heavy loads, right? Right. So it was not there, although I'd tried. So I feel like that very first paragraph is like, okay, hey guys, I'm hiding this in a place that I looked, maybe even the place I thought it was. And he talks in interviews about how many times he went back to that kind of place. So it's logical. Right now, I'm trying to think logically. I don't have enough details, but I'm trying to think logically. Logically to me, he says, hey, by the way, it's in a place I thought it was when it was Forrest Fenn and I was searching for it.
Yep.
But what I
Makes
really
sense.
find interesting about the next chapter, and when we were talking about this, when we were looking at our research, you were like, oh, interesting. So it must be. So he starts this next chapter with the word, or no, sorry, this next stanza with the word begin. And guess what? So does Forrest's. So Forrest, it reads, his first line is, begin at where warm waters halt, right? And so you're like, okay. And John's like, begin at where cool waters flow. And so I'm like, wait a minute, that's almost the same but opposite.
Right.
So then what I found interesting is in that second stanza, it's almost like, so he told you why he went where he was, and then now he's kind of telling you how he's different, right? Because he starts this paragraph in the second stanza and ends this paragraph with the same words that Forrest did. So Forrest says, begin at where warm waters halt. And John says, begin at where cool waters flow. So it starts the same, but it's the opposite, right?
Right.
And he says, and take it in the canyon down and follow through the canyon round. And John's going, my spot was not down, it was in a round place, okay? And then Forrest says, not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. And John says, take it in the rolling highs and lows. Pass by a place where once was Brown. So
With a capital B.
with a capital B. So it's only one of the 700,000 Brown references that we could find in all
Yeah, I
four.
mean, you look at Colorado, and there's about 4,000 sites called Brown Mount this, Brown that. So thanks.
Brown fish, brown dog, brown cat.
Yeah, that's
Brown
just
owl, brown
Colorado.
cow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too many. It's too many
It's so
Brown
many
references.
Browns.
Yeah.
But I really think he starts with his story,
Yeah.
and then he's telling you where he looked based on how he felt about that story, right?
Right.
And then
well, it's basically telling you though that he had to solve. He went to hide it, and I'm pretty sure he hid that treasure where he thought he knew where the treasure was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what I would say is, as you're reading this poem, and I'm really gonna, because I don't want to really give away, I do have a bit of a solve here, and I don't want to give away too much of it. But as you're reading this, I think it's important to read them kind of side by side. So I always had the Forrest's book out, and I had There's Treasure Inside book out at all times. I almost just spilled my drink, but I didn't, so that's good. You know how I feel about my drinks.
I know you have to have your drinks.
I always got to have my drinks, but I can't help it. Now I have to have a sip. But I read them side by side, because if you read them side by side and you're like, what am I missing? What is missing was not, because Forrest's poem had 9 clues. Thinking logically, John has 9 clues in here.
At least you would assume there's probably
I would say there are 9 clues in this poem, because it's an ode to Forrest Fenn.
Yeah. All right. I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you can find 10, 12, 13, 14, I'll take those clues too.
I guarantee I will. I guarantee I'll find a bunch of clues that are not clues. Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's how bias works. But I would say this, that there's 9 specific clues minimally in this. And so when you're looking at this, ask yourself, is this a clue, or is this just a marker getting me to the next spot? Because you can go online and see how people broke down and figured out what Forrest's clues were and what Forrest's clues weren't. Well, Forrest's not John. And if you're like us and you've been reading John's work for the last 60 days, 90 days, or some of you 4 months, we're jealous. You're starting to notice that John uses words uniquely, right?
He uses the same words a lot.
Yeah.
He even used pop-up in this thing, and all I can think is, oh man, it must be a Jayco pop-up camper. So I know.
Like, oh my gosh, he's out getting a Pokemon box.
He's like, I can only use 1,000 different words, and I have to fit them in here. I'm surprised there's not the word 5 in here.
It's like, I paid for this book based on the words, not the word count.
That's right.
That's how you work. So do you want to tell them your 4 possible spots? You want to just pick 2?
These are my first spots. Well, first I wanted to do Pyramid Rock, right? Because of, wow, that's the face I get with that. Pyramid Rock. He has this all-seeing eye, which is the top of a pyramid. come on. You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Problem is it sounds like you can't really go to Pyramid Rock. I have to do more research on it, but it's not like
Could
a
you really
hiking place.
hide stuff in it? It's not something you can hide places.
It's not like it's illegal. It sounds like it's not like a place you would go to hike on a trail or something like that. So I'll have to do more research into it. If you guys know anything about Pyramid Rock, hit me up at comments@treasurehuntwiththis.com and be like, yes, it's actually a place you can hike out there, or no, it isn't. I like that one though. But my main 4 right now, I tried to do limit it down to 1 in each state. Right now I'm at Bridger Teton,
Good job.
Teton National Forest. That one's in Wyoming. Wyoming has a lot of spots that really fit really well. I got Browns with a capital B Canyon, Colorado. I'm diving deeper in that one. I got
Very poetic fit.
Carson's National Forest in New Mexico, and I got Custard Gallatin National Forest in Montana. It's near the Madison River. I don't think it's going to be there because of that, but because it's near the National River, those are the 4 places I'm going to start at. And then I'm going to find out they're all wrong.
We're going to narrow
and then
it
I'm
down
going to
from
move
there.
on.
Because here's how we intend to look at this, because we are treasure hunt with us. We're not just there's treasure inside. So as we're working the beyond the map's edge and this Forrest Fenn box at the same time, we're going to have to do double duty. We're going to have to do double duty as we're out there.
Forrest Fenn, same time. What if they're in the same place? The same state, not same place, but
that would be convenient.
That would be, can they do that?
I mean, I really hope they got together for me and talked it out.
Justin, John, the 2 J's, get together. Pick up your treasures, move them next to each other.
Says they know each other, but they were part of the same community.
Yeah, probably. So
I've actually not heard of anybody talking about Forrest Fenn saying that they knew Jon from Forrest Fenn.
I actually haven't heard that either. I actually wonder the people, like, if there's stuff about his Forrest Fenn hunt. Like, is there stuff on his Forrest Fenn hunt? Because if there is,
he does have other poetry.
That's true, but it's probably not on the Forrest Fenn hunt.
Oh, there's so much. I'm like, this is the thing. When we have K-Pro on this weekend, I'm probably going to ask more questions about Forrest Fenn than anything.
And the Forrest Fenn hunt. That's what I want to know all about.
But I'm curious if she'll be comfortable sharing some of her thoughts on the Forrest Fenn box from this treasure as well.
I don't think she'll have a problem because I don't think she's working the Forrest Fenn box. She is a 1 box at a time person, and she is past and future all in.
We need a t-shirt for her, past and future for life.
That's a great idea. I might do that.
Yeah.
I might do that.
I mean, we are going to be in Vegas. We'll have to hand it over. Look what we got you.
That's right. But yeah, I think I don't think she's delved into it, which is kind of crazy because I bet you her original solve that she's going to hopefully talk about, that might be where Jon also thought the solve was. She should just look at her original solve and say, this is what the poem should have been. And now I'm going to find this box because I'm just going to go there. It
would be insane if her solve and Jon's solve lined up and that put her there.
What
an advantage.
What if Jon stole her solve all those years ago? What if that happened? And Jon's like, you know what? I checked. I stole her solve. I checked. And it wasn't.
I don't think it really works like that. That said, when I think about it, like there were so many people, the Forrest Fenn was really a community, right? It was in person, like these Forrest Fenn treasure hunters would get together. And so like they'd all hang out together and they'd go do these Forrest Fenn events where he'd show up and sign books and like talk to people and answer questions. I mean,
I think it was less Discord like it is now and less videos like it is now. I mean, there's so many channels now that are doing this like we are. There's people in TikTok doing it. You know, and so
you will see, like for us, when you see our logo, we're gonna end up switching it a little bit up to make sure you know which one is there's treasure inside and which one is beyond the map's edge.
Yeah, and we'll put it in different stories or whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah, different folders, video files or whatever, so that you can keep them separate. And we'll even have one for Estes Quest. Super excited.
Oh yeah,
about
I cannot wait to do that one. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That one is a 30-day, so that one we're going to know by May who found that one.
Possibly May 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, or 15th. Yeah, one of those days.
One of those days, 30 days after the start of it.
One of them is going to be it. No, but, and that was so nice of Froggy to come on and do that interview with us twice. Twice.
We're the worst. K-Pro, what you have to look forward to.
Try so hard to not.
We are going to record. We're gonna have to record multiple times. We're gonna get this software right one
What
day.
I love is she's like, I don't do edits. You want to go live? I'll go live. She's just like, let's
Are
get in
we
there
gonna
and
go
keep rolling.
live? We've never been live.
No,
I'll go
we're
live.
not going to go live.
No,
We're going
we
to
are
do
not.
an actual interview. We're not going to edit it because she said that that's how you do it, and we want to respect the people we're interviewing.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to just go for it and hope it works without my need for 50 intros. I'm going to have to like practice it for days in advance, days being tomorrow, and be like, who's here with us today? You know,
it's going to be nice, easy. I love the start of our videos. If you don't know, we should probably blooper it one day, but
oh
basically
my gosh.
we got like 5 or 6 times before we can get it right. And then we're laughing and
Oh,
joking
at
the
least
whole
5,
time.
and then we're laughing, and so that's why half the time my eyes are all glassy because we've been laughing for 25 minutes before we ever start videoing.
For
And
sure.
it's so funny when poor Froggy was there. We're like, okay, we've got this. We're ready. And then I proceeded to do it twice with him. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
He's just such a good guy. He doesn't even
He's
care.
so nice.
Yeah.
Sweetest guy ever. Well, that's what we've got on tap for this week. We wanted to get this out. We also will be watching the Golden Greed. I think I'm going to get up at 3 in the morning to watch it.
Well, we are, but we're going to have one more video on this Forrest Fenn. So we are going to do more research on, Tuesday-ish, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, before Maps Edge comes out. We're going to do one more Forrest Fenn where we took some of these solves over this weekend. I'm not going out boots on the ground like you are. Right. I'm going to try to search down even more
I'm going out boots on the ground. I'm on call this weekend. I'll just throw that Starlink on my back and just go get it done.
Yep. Be like,
let's do it.
Yeah, you want another loan? No problem. Treasure's over there.
I'm like, look under that rock. Oh my gosh, you want a good rate or a great rate? I've got both. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, the key is to get out there and search. Listen, I do like my solve for this week. I'm not even going to lie. I'll tell everybody where I'm going to be. I'm literally going to be at the Rainbow Falls. Beep. You know, I mean, people have already looked there. It's like massively searched. It's a massively searched area, but I have a few other things that lay on top of it that I think adds to where to kind of drill down. So
it's too late. I beeped you out.
Yeah, I don't know if you know how that works because I'm not sure it works like you think it does. But hey, I hope that somebody else could you believe they beeped that? I bet she was swearing.
I didn't even
know.
Like,
you know me. She is swearing.
I didn't even know where you said you were going to be. Where did you say?
No, because you're going to do it. I know you already. I know exactly. I'll be like, I'm going to Rainbow Falls. Beep. Like, beep. Yeah.
You're going to Rainbow Falls? Beep. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Our time is off.
I will be there this weekend, and that's what I'm going to do on Sunday. I'm actually going to I'm going to leave my house at 5:30 in the morning in hopes of being back by 2. So there'll be we'll get some videos, some shorts out so you can see it. It's going to be beautiful. I'm sure. I've seen a lot. I've watched a lot of videos about people doing videos. Is what I would say. I always want to see a hike so I know what I'm going into. And what I think is some people, they don't necessarily give you the truth, right? And like I always think about the first time I went down in Heaven and Halls, I'm like, listen, it was totally fine. I watched these 2 girls go down it. And there was no problem for them. And
yeah, I told you that hike was going to be brutal.
It was fine. I could do it now.
You did do it. What do you mean?
True.
You did do it that day, but it doesn't mean it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't
mean it was
easy. No,
did not mean it was easy.
And the thing is, too, is a lot of times I was saying, this is one thing I learn every time we're on boots on the ground. And I get there and I'm like, would this or wouldn't this? It would or it wouldn't. And I just don't think he would have put it there. I still don't think he would have put it there. So I want to get there and either say, yeah, we need to devote a little more time to this area and continue to drill down, look at my specialty spots that I think it's going to be my understanding of over, under, and in between. And, the posts and those 2 things that I've kind of tied together in this section. And see what it does. And if I'm wrong, we'll come back and we'll rethink it or we'll check it off. This is not where we think it is. And we can move on to the next of the other 75 or 85 falls here and everything you've got in California.
That's right. That's right. Or one day we can go to Ohio or Oregon or Washington.
I really do like Ohio as well. I do like Ohio. There's so much Ready Player One stuff in there. There's so much Ready Player. That's the problem is I'm like, I try really hard not to get stuck on a spot, right? I'm looking to eliminate as much as I am to find the box. You have to do that because if you just assume it's 100% in
North Carolina, and that could be Pokemon or past and future. But if you just assume that, or it could be that,
Appalachian foot traffic.
yeah, they all are in.
The Lions
Everything's in North Carolina. See, I had it backwards. It's not every box.
All this time, I thought you were location biased to California, and now I'm location biased to North Carolina.
You are. No, it's possible that they can all be there, just by the clues, right? Because they all have references to North Carolina. That's where he's from and stuff.
Right.
So,
I was about to say, it makes sense because it's where he's from. I really, though, I mean, as much as I want to find this past and future box, I really do believe the lion's share is the one that'll be here. So it may be where I'm going, but it also may not.
Maybe Georgia.
Maybe Georgia. Maybe right on the border of South Carolina and North Carolina for this. There's so many places to look here. That's the thing. Is like we are very trail rich here. We're trail rich.
It's going to be exciting.
Waterfall rich. There's a lot of waterfalls. A lot of waterfalls.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to have you out there searching again. And again, like I said, we probably have 6 solves for each, well, not each box, for 2 boxes that we're working on right now. And we're now have 4 or 5 lined up for Forrest Fenn. So I guess like 3 boxes.
Right.
We have basically 4 solves that we are diving deep into. So I'm going to be Forrest Fenn hunting, searching for clues, trying to find us a good location for us to talk about next video. And you are going to be boots on the ground, past and future, North Carolina. It's going to be good times.
Because here's the thing. We've got a lot going on in the next week, and we want to make sure you guys know we're going to be back with K-Pro on Saturday. We'll be back Monday or Tuesday, whatever you said, with another round of Forrest Fenn to kind of talk through a deeper dive on the clues, kind of see what
right before the map's edge is out. That's why we're going through it again. This is why we're doing this box, is because we think it's going to tie in. And so we want to be prepared. We're going to try to get you prepared. You're treasure hunting with us. We're going to get you ready.
Right. And remember, read your chapter. Because if it's logical that maybe you've read the whole book once, I mean, you probably found a chapter you wanted to focus on, so you're not really focused. But there's going to be more information than ever right now on this box because this is going to be tied into that release. And so you want to be listening carefully to all the things you hear and read and see. You want to be very attentive to the details, right? Because you never know the thing that ties together your clues. You never know.
If Justin releases a damn poem, I'm not going to be happy.
I'm like,
just
I'm sending you back, Justin.
Give me something else besides a poem, please.
I'm starting to wonder what it is I want them to do because I'm like, oh, I can't do word searches. Oh, I don't know numbers from. I mean, I hate hiking. It's like, what do I do? Really, what do I do?
You make really good videos.
Oh, so that's so sweet of you.
All 300 of our subscribers. We broke 300.
We broke 300.
We broke 300. Thank you all for watching.
With our production, Casey, I was on the phone with her. And I'm like, we're about to break 300, and I'm like, pulling up to a light, and I'm like, well, yeah, like I looked yesterday, and we had like 297. We're almost there. We're getting there, and I'm like, oh my God, 300. She's like, I can't even understand what you're saying right now. I'm like, 300. She's like, 300, and then we're all both excited, and it was a really great time, and we're really excited. It's going to be good stuff. We'll see you Saturday night with K-Pro, and then we'll get something else up. Between now and then, read your homework. Get in there and read your chapter, and send us questions. Comments at treasurehuntwithus.com. Comment below in the links. We try to read it all. We try to respond to all of it. And by we, I mostly mean Jam.
You're welcome.
We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Treasure hunt with us, we gon' light it up. There's treasure inside, yeah, we rising up. If you're gonna treasure hunt, why not treasure hunt with us? We the ones, we the truth, yeah, we